Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching or listening to this podcast from. And we've got something a little bit special today. It's a Newcastle special. I'm joined with Matty, big Newcastle fan. How we doing, mate?
I'm all right, thank you. Well, I say I'm all right. It's a bit of a tricky time at the minute, going through a lot of transition, and yeah, I think we could be in for a tough ride next season.
Oh, it's an exciting, scary time up there, I guess, at the moment.
Yeah, there's a lot of changes. Obviously, Eddie Howe going was a bit of a shock. I was there at the Bristol City game the night before, and it's fair to say the performance wasn't great. A lot of the ball, but doing nothing with it. And we hung around after the game to try and see the players come out and get back on the team bus. And Eddie Howe was very quick, straight through, straight on the bus with Tyndall by his side.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have had Tyndall anywhere else, I suppose. Like, he's never really out of arm's reach.
I
But yeah, he
presume he's
was.
gone as well.
Yeah. There's all the
Yeah,
backroom staff's pretty much gone. Graham
yeah.
Jones as well. So he was there before Eddie Howe got there, but Eddie kept him on. So yeah, there's a few of them who've well, basically, yeah, his backroom staff's gone. And as of tonight, they've just announced that the new manager's come in,
Yeah.
Jaissle or something. God knows how you pronounce it. I'm sure we'll find out in the weeks to come. But
Do you know?
yeah,
Do you know much about him? Have you heard of him before?
I hadn't heard of him before. No, he's a new name on me. I know he was a footballer in his early days. Had a bit of a bad injury, same old story, just like the rest of us. But he managed to carry on his coaching badges and did some youth coaching, and then got appointed as RB Salzburg manager, where
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
he won two Austrian league titles.
yeah,
And then that took him over for, in his own words, couldn't turn down the big payday going over to Saudi, where he won
mm,
two Asian Champions Leagues, which I suppose is not to be sniffed at. But he's obviously coached some good players while he's over there, including Ivan Toney, Riyad Mahrez, etc., and Edouard Mendy, the goalie from Chelsea.
yeah.
So he's used to dealing with big players, but I don't know how he'll get on handling Big Dan Burn. We'll have to wait and
Yeah.
see.
It'll be a new experience for him.
Yeah.
Uh,
First of all, trying to understand what he's saying would be one
yeah,
thing.
God, yeah. Well, all I've heard is he's highly respected in Germany, and
Yeah,
he is one of them promising new coaches that's got new ideas,
yeah,
and he's very adaptable to the game. So he won't be coming saying we're going to play possession or two up front. He will adapt to the situation, which you need to
yeah,
do in the Premiership. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah,
yeah, if we go back, I suppose almost 5 years now when the Saudis took over Newcastle.
yeah.
What was your feeling when they took over?
Well, I think everyone thought they was going to come in. There's obviously the and probably still are the richest club in the world, or
Mm,
definitely certainly in this country. But I think they've been massively hamstrung. So the idea is we'd go and repeat what City have done and Chelsea have done in the
yeah,
past and throw loads of money at it. But I think the rules quickly changed, so you couldn't have interconnecting businesses sponsor you, etc. And that was quickly, hastily put through by the league when basically the rest of the other teams in the Premier League jumped on board with that. So I think that's kind of hindered some of the progress they'd planned on making, and probably even some of the strategies they had in. They probably thought they could come in and slap Armaco all over the front and rename the stadium and this, that, and the other. And obviously they haven't been able to inject the money like that. So I think everyone's perception from outside was they'll go out, spend a lot of money, and well, obviously move up the league probably faster than what they've done. But I think, like I say, the rules hindered them. But they still managed to get some big players in. The likes of Trippier come in. He was the first one.
yeah,
Dan Burn, I'll be honest with you, when he come in, he's not someone I knew anything about. Even though he'd played Premier League football, I know he'd also played for the likes of Yeovil and Blythe or whatever. But I didn't know nothing about him. And obviously the biggest one who's on his way out today, just at the back end of 22, was obviously Bruno. So he
mm,
come in. He was probably the first real one they spent real good money on. And enticed what was a good player from Ligue 1 over to Newcastle. And it took a little time for him to bed in. Eddie didn't chuck him straight in at the deep end to start with. It took a little time, but you quickly saw this is someone we need to build a team around. So,
mm.
so yeah,
Do you think the owners have learned from, I don't know, you look at like a Bournemouth or a Brighton or even Brentford, and they have the best people in every role at that club to
yeah,
get the best player in we can for that money. are Newcastle at that place yet? Or is there still a lot of high turnover and
So
sort
originally Dan Ashworth come in, and I think everyone
of?
thought he was going to come in. He'd obviously been at Brighton. We got him from Brighton, paid a bit of money and compensation to get him across to us. And I think he probably had that vision, and everyone brought into that. But then suddenly, his old mate from Ineos went and brought Man United, and he wanted to entice him over. So I think he went on a 6-month period of gardening leave with us, and then jumped ship to Man United for what was an absolute waste of time, seems. So then we brought another gentleman in. I can't remember his name now. Paul Mitchell. And he was supposed to come in and he was going to bring in a bit of his own philosophy and put a bit of a stamp on things. And he was saying when he came in, there was going to be a bit of a journey. He wasn't going to go in and buy 5, 6, 7 players per window. He wanted to buy 3 and keep progressing almost every window or every summer and buy little but quality. And I think it become apparent he did 1 transfer window, but he was hamstrung by what we'd spent before. And he had 1 transfer window 1 January. He didn't end up buying anybody. And then the day after the end of last season, of course, he famously jumped ship and then decided to hand his notice in. And so I think he left without buying a single person for us.
Yeah, I think without having that top management in place, and it's not just him, it's the people he brings in his team
Yeah, yeah,
every time, it's just going to be, you're going to struggle to build that philosophy of the team. And, obviously
yeah.
Eddie Howe, I don't know how much say he had in the transfers. Because I
Well,
mean,
I think he always said it. He almost had like the final say. But I think
yeah,
last season when Paul Mitchell left, I think Eddie Howe was basically given the reins because there's no one else to do it. And you
yeah,
saw the players. I think beforehand we brought players like Yankuba Minte from where did he go? He brought it from somewhere in Norway or it was definitely Scandinavia. And then he got shipped out on loan, had a blinding season out on loan, and suddenly he never kicked a ball for us. And he was sold to Brighton, but we made good money
yeah,
on him. So there's some under the radar signings that were made in the earlier regime that we haven't probably or didn't have the chance to play, like Minte. But then we also signed, we also had Elliot Anderson coming through the ranks at the same time. And unfortunately, we didn't get any takers for Anthony Gordon a couple of seasons back. And we sold Elliot Anderson, and look what's happened to him now.
yeah.
I mean, I
Well,
don't think he'd have got the game time with Newcastle that he obviously did when he went to Forest, but there's still a hell of a player in there. And the way the deal was executed, we didn't have any signed kind of buyback clause or sell on percentage. And now he's gone for 126 million quid. So, I
I
mean,
mean, not having that sell-on clause is a schoolboy error. So the people
oh,
who
100%.
put the rock,
But
that
yeah,
could have been an extra 30, 40 million for you, 25%, something like that.
yeah,
So
yeah. I
it's
just don't know. I don't know who sanctioned that deal. I don't know if it had to be done because we were so close to PSR and it was panic stations. But obviously they
mm,
got rid of Minter and Anderson, both 2 young prospects, because they didn't want to lose, or maybe that was down to Eddie Howe not wanting to lose one of the first teamers like a Gordon or a Bruno or someone else. But yeah,
mm,
that was a decision that's now looks to have come back and bit us on the arse for both of them. Minter scored against us a couple of times or whatever and always looked a bit of a threat. And Anderson, well, he's probably one of England's better players this tournament, really.
mm. So talking of signings, I think you've signed 2 keepers already for 50 odd million between them
Yeah, yeah.
both. I guess that's Nick Pope gone then.
Oh yeah, he's got to. His
He's
days are numbered. I think
yeah,
last season it became apparent he got dropped. Eddie is one of those managers who remains loyal throughout, and for him to
mm,
start questioning and dropping people ahead of big games, I think he knew the writing was on the wall.
yeah.
And
And
there's no doubt he's a good shot stopper, but with his feet and some of the mistakes he makes, rush of blood to the head come racing out. And he's 34. He's been a good servant for us. We got him in cheap. He come in one of the first signings as well, paid I think 12, 13 million for him.
mm,
Did the job, but yeah, I think it's
then we've
time to
got
move on now.
a young French lad, 50 million, which is no one. I only looked that up today. I've not even heard of him or heard the transfer go through. So I think Newcastle are doing these deals for younger players with a
Yeah.
lot of money, but obviously this could be the future, and that might be a new strategy that they're going down, where get these players in young, get a top manager and work with them. Hopefully they'll stick with the manager.
Yes,
if he'd
yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
successful. But I don't
Well,
know
like
much about him.
no, no, no. But you look at you're right though. Look at Bournemouth and Brighton with the business they've done. The lads that they've brought in, the young lads, whether it's Belieber or Casado when he was younger. You could the list is endless with Brighton, and you look at Bournemouth with some of the guys they've got in now, good young players. Krupi, absolute quality. I think he's another one who's linked with Arsenal. Yeah, so you just got to give them a try. But all of those players have all had a little bit of experience around them at the minute, when they've been in, sorry. And at the minute, Newcastle's experience is Joe Linton in the middle, who will teach him how to get bucked and give the ball away lots. You got Dan Burn, who's 34. And no disrespect, he's been great for us, but his legs are gone. If you stick him out at left back, we're going to get caught out all the time.
Well, talking of left backs, Lewis Hall linked to Man United today. They think 60 million will do the deal.
Not a chance. No, it's not for 60 million. No, this kid is quality. How he was never picked for the World Cup is beyond me.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable. He's so good with his feet. He's quick. He's nimble. His defending's brilliant. He's probably got to work on a little bit of his execution at the far end of the pitch, but you cannot question it. Anyone who can keep Mo Salah wrapped up and quiet for game after game speaks well. And I think he did the same with Saka as well.
That's why.
Yeah. Well, he's got a big money move to Trabzonspor. They're obviously.
It's weird. I thought he'd be going to Saudi, but yeah.
Yeah. Someone with a bit of quality. I don't know how much he's getting paid there, but I don't know what the desire is to go to Turkey. Don't get it.
That one. No. So, and the other one linked to a move. I've forgotten his name. You're right. Oh, Livramento.
Yeah, Livramento. Yeah.
I think the injury might have done you a favour because.
Yeah. I think you're right. Like he's very, very good as well. Him and Hall, when we signed them, I remember seeing Livramento play for Southampton before he got a bad injury there, and he looked quality. And then Hall obviously looked very good when he was at Chelsea, and I was surprised we actually got him. But when we signed both of them, I thought we've got England's future left and right back for years to come, because both of them are very, very good, and they've proved that. Livramento, unfortunately, is injury prone. He's an excellent defender. Many people should go past him, but what you need is something at the other end of the pitch as well, and he lacks that. I think he scored one goal for us, which was a bit of a wiggle through, and next minute just had a little stab at something, and it goes rolling into the back of the net.
Yeah.
But you look at likes of Trippier, who's in there before at right back. He had a wand of a foot. He could whip a ball in. He could take a corner. He could take a free kick. It was magic. And Livramento hasn't got that. So that's something I'd have liked to have seen over the past 3 years he's been with Trippier there, him improving on that. But that hasn't come.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's quick. He's a great defender, but he's not a Trippier in the terms of going forward. But Hall quality. So those two at left and right back, we need to keep hold of. They're for now. They're for the future. If we've got any hope of doing anything this season, with the players that we've lost, those two are fundamental to keep him. We need backup for them. I think
Livramento will stay, but I think Hall may go.
I don't know.
I was looking today, heavily linked with Man United. They've decided left back is a position they want to improve on.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah, we'll have to see. The only thing is, he's a Newcastle fan, so does that count for anything nowadays? He's probably on a lot of not very big wages. So it's probably up to the club to say, this is what we think you're worth. We'll give you a pay rise.
Yeah.
Put their money where their mouth is. They're saving money on Bruno, Tonali, Gordon's wages, and they're bringing in youngsters. They've also lost Trippier's wages, Kraft's wages, Lascelles' wages in January. There's a fair few other people who've gone out the window as well. So there's money there to be spent.
Yeah. Well, going back to Eddie Howe, there was quite a few Newcastle fans that have sort of had enough and wanted him to go. Where were you sat with that one?
I was indifferent. I was so torn. The football has become very, very stale, and even after I'd say towards the tail end of the season before last, it was pretty rubbish, and you could see there was no new ideas. It was a bit stagnant, and Isak towards the end of it wasn't really performing. I think a few players would and don't forget, we had the chance that we could have pipped Arsenal to second in the table. If we'd have turned up penultimate game of the season and got a result there, I think it might have been against you. We'd have gone above you in the table, but we lost it, and then we had a chance to go a little bit higher up in the league by beating Everton on the final game of the season, and we chucked it in 2-0, and suddenly we scraped through by goal difference in the Champions League, and that masked a lot.
Don't worry, your CEO's come out and said you're going to win the league by 2030. So
oh yeah, it's
I wouldn't
been
worry
said.
about that. And then your owner said you'll be the biggest club in the world. So if these two people are making them statements, that's alarm bells ringing.
Yeah.
They can't be in touch with football to understand in 3-4 years you're losing all your best players.
Yeah. Those statements were said probably 1 and 2 years ago. I don't think that'd be the same message they're putting out now. I think they've realised now the strategy's got to change. There's a whole ethos change, and I think that's why we're seeing big changes now with even the players we're recruiting.
So moving forward this season, what's a success for Newcastle Football Club? League position, cup runs.
I'd say what we deemed is a successful season depends on what's happened with these next 3 weeks. Excuse me. So we've got 3 weeks now to really bolster the squad. I could basically go through that team now, and we need a right back and we need a left back to act as a backup to Livramento and Hall. We've got Botman, whose legs have gone. Like him at Bristol City the other day was absolutely shocking. He made 2 bad mistakes for goals, and he scored an own goal. In a 4-1 defeat to Bristol City, that shouldn't happen. So his legs are gone. He's never been the same since he had an ACL injury. We've got Malik Chow, who's good, but he's got a little error in him. And we've got 34-year-old Byrne and 35-year-old Fabian Schär as backups. I'm sorry, but I don't know many teams in the Premier League that are surviving with a 34 and 35-year-old as centre-backs in the league to bolster your squad. Those two guys, unfortunately, as loyal as servants they've been and they've done good, you need to improve. After Fabian Schär was here when the takeover happened, if you're going to improve, he was 3.5 million. He's been good. He's been steady, I should say. We need to have improved on those positions since there's time to come.
So, I mean, you avoided the question really well there. So, what
Yeah. So, as I said, what I was going to say to you is, so it depends on what we do in the next 3 weeks. So, those positions need to improve. Now, we've changed the goalkeeper from someone who was failing to two unknown lads. One's very young and one's 24, but comes with very highly regarded, who's a bit of a sweeper keeper. So, we could see a style of change of play there. But our midfield is, again, Bruno and Tonali were bang-on starters. Ramsey's been hit and miss. Lewis Miley's very good. And now we brought in 2 young lads. Sean Sturlock's very good. And then we've got another one, is it Bamba, that's coming, who comes, again, highly regarded. So we'll have to wait and see. But the midfield's unknown at the minute. The wingers, Murphy, we should be improving on him. Alanga's had a stinker last season. So although he's supposed to be an improvement for Murphy, he couldn't knock Murphy off his spot last season. And now we've got Barnes and Toure at left midfield, at left wing. And obviously we've got Visser and Voltemada and potentially Asula. So that squad doesn't speak out quality to you. There's no one in there. Pardon? Yeah, so what I was getting to, we need to add some real quality. Three really good key quality players who are going to make a massive difference, because if they don't, what will look like success then, I'd say, would be surviving relegation. If we make key signings, I think there's no reason why we shouldn't be aiming for top 8, top 6, but we need real quality. So success would be between 8 and 6 if we get some quality coming in.
Yeah, no Europe this season, so
no, yeah, that's it. We've got nothing to lose. We're a bit like Spurs. Spurs have made really, really key signings.
Yeah,
they've added some real quality to their side, and they haven't got distractions to Europe. There's no reason why they should be down at the bottom end of the table. No. They should be definitely at the top.
I think with Spurs, the signings they've made, I think they'll stay up again this year.
Yeah,
as with you boys, you're probably 16th and 17th this year.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah.
So 6th to 8th place, you're predicting?
No, I wouldn't say it's prediction. It all depends on what happens in the next 3 weeks. That would be success in my eyes. Finishing between 8th and 6th would be success. But we need help to get there.
pressure on the new manager if it's a slow start, or would you give him time
On a slow start,
to...
no. I think Newcastle fans are patient people. Everyone says they're crying out for success or they're crying out for this, that, and the other. You've seen what happens when we win a Carabao Cup. Look at us. We was the happiest people in the world. Like, I've never seen another team go down to London, take over Leicester Square, or Trafalgar Square, sorry, and show just that much passion. It
I
speaks
was
volume.
there. I was actually
Yeah,
there with your brother and your dad.
yeah. I was there. I was late. I was late to the party.
I
I'd
was
been
joining
there,
in this.
gone, and come back.
I was joining the singing, saying we're going to win the league. Like,
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I think they were getting a bit carried away.
Yeah, but look at it. Look at what happened. Look at who else takes 300,000 for a party on the park on like afterwards for a Carabao Cup. So we don't crave success. All we want is a team that tries hard and gives us something to look forward to. When Eddie was doing well, you rock up to St James's Park and you're buzzing to get there. Towards the end of his tenure, it's like, who are we going to get beat by now?
What would you say to people who say Newcastle fans are a bit fickle over the
No,
years?
not at all. Like, look at us. We've had years and years of shit. Like, look at the Mike Ashley eras when there was no hope, and yet it took us to almost not abandon. What's the word? Like putting where we didn't turn up to the game. Oh, I can't think. Protesting against him. But even then, we had record attendance figures in the Championship when we got relegated. So we're not there just for the good times or whatever. We support the team through thick and thin. But it's just there's always this thing that we think we want more or we think we deserve more. We don't. All we want is a team that tries hard and shows everyone that they're willing to give 100% effort. If you don't give that 100% effort, yeah, you ain't going to get the pat on the back, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that's what's gutting probably about Bruno. Bruno, I think, coming from abroad, and I think he got the Geordie people. I think he got it. He spoke fondly of the people. You've seen his passion on the pitch, and he was giving everything all his time. And that's why it's a bit sad when you hear after after a bad season, a couple of the other good guys go, and he straight away wants to jump ship and wants to join Arsenal. I've got no reason as to feel bad about the bloke. He's done brilliant for us, but it's just a bit of a shame that that's what it comes to, really. And I understand going to Arsenal, they've just won the league. They're going to pay him double what he's on now. There's no reason why he shouldn't have that move. But it's just a shame when someone speaks so fondly and passionately about the city, the town, the city, the club, the people, the fans. But then you openly say you want to leave and go to
it's a short career. He's 28, 29.
Yeah.
It was now or never, really, wasn't it? If you signed a new contract, you're into your 30s.
Yeah.
But it's hard to let go. Like you said, he's become he's your captain.
Yeah.
He's become one of the Newcastle boys, but he's got to think of his career, I suppose, at the end of the day. And with everyone leaving, the new manager, he probably thought this is the time to go.
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah. Right, so this is the ultimate football quiz. So we will finish with 3 questions, all Newcastle based. 1 easy, 2 hard.
Okay.
Don't shout your answers out. Just keep quiet, and then we'll go through it at the end, and so people can play along at home. So question 1: which Newcastle keeper has made the most appearances in the Premier League?
Yeah.
Question 2: who has the most assists for Newcastle in the Premier League?
Okay.
Confident?
I think so.
Yeah. And question 3: what year did Newcastle stop using Nuki Brown Ale as their sponsor?
Okay.
Right. So question 1: most appearances for a goalkeeper?
Shay Given.
Correct. With 400, I think it's 400 plus.
Well done.
Question 2: the most assists?
Is it Nobby Solano?
It is. Great answer. And do you know who's 4th on that list?
4th.
4th. A current player in your squad.
Bonus
point.
Bonus point. Still there.
Yeah. Winger. Been there for years. Jacob Murphy.
Is it? Oh,
Yeah.
blimey. I wouldn't have thought he'd had that many.
So,
But he's had a few in the
yeah.
last 2 seasons, to be fair.
Do you know what? Whenever I see him play, he always does a job. Like he'll come on the last 20 for someone, and he sort of improves your team. I know he gets a bit of stick, but
Yeah,
it's a weird
unfortunately,
one.
yeah, he's got the mistake in him, and
Yeah.
he's been a good servant. We didn't pay a lot for him. I think that was 12 million from Norwich back. Excuse me again, back in the day. And he's had a couple of good last season, or a couple of good seasons towards the tail end. Again, he filtered off this season, but yeah,
he's a squad player, isn't he?
yeah,
On
yeah,
that assist list, I think Shearer was on there, Rob Lee, Laurent Robert, players like
yeah.
that. So yeah, Solano had about 53. I think Jacob Murphy on about 39, something like that. And
Fair
question 3 for the hat trick: what year did Newcastle stop using brown ale?
I'm gonna say 98.
Oh no, it's 2000.
Was it? Oh,
So 2 out of 3, mate. Not bad, not bad.
yeah.
So yeah,
I'll
thank you
take
to everyone. Thank you to everyone watching or listening at home. Get your comments in the section below, and we'll get back to you. Do you agree with Matty? Go on.
I was just going to say one thing. And what's your thoughts on Bruno? Have you got enough midfielders as it is? Where do you see him slotting in?
I don't think he's an improvement. I think he's on the level of the midfielders you've got in there: Zuma, Mende, Rice, Odegaard on his day. You got Eze. So I think the only thing that I worry about is, Lewis Skelly. Is he going to get enough minutes anymore? Because I
That's
think
it. He's someone who fitted in last season in centre mid for those last few games. He
I
did really
think
well.
he's a brilliant player. So you've got what, 6, 7 players all going for them 3 places. I know you've got Europe and stuff, but I don't know if Arteta is he going to let them sort of have a free reign. I think last year we won the title, but it wasn't in a great manner. Do you know what I mean? I think this year, I hope pressure's off. He can go, look, I've got the title, I've got a bit of breathing space now, and I will play sort of more attacking football and let the players have a go. But time will tell, and we'll see.
That's one of the things I did notice. They put comparison stats on Sky Sports earlier about being progressive and going forward. And yeah, it's fair to say Bruno is a lot more of that than Zubimendi and Rice. And there's a couple of stats where he more than doubled the pair of those stats put together. I think one of them was just through balls. And it's like, well, that's interesting.
Hopefully that is a sign that Arteta is going to be a bit more like that, rather than you sort of, set pieces and relying on that. So time will tell. But yeah, thank you for everyone listening to this. Get your comments in the section for Matt if you agree with him. If you do think Newcastle fans are fickle, I know a lot of you do out there. And we will be joined soon by the other guys, and we'll get another quiz on the go. So thanks for watching.
All the best.
Good night.
Cheers, guys. Bye.